This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Going to start off by congratulating Jack Robinson for winning the Tahiti
Your
Pro
boyfriend?
yesterday. Mate,
You
he's
love
bloody
him
great.
so
I
much.
do.
You
He's
love him
awesome.
so hard.
Yeah.
He's from Margaret River, and he had a knee injury after winning the first couple of events of the season, and it looked like he'd completely lost his form. And in world surfing these days, you've got to qualify throughout the year by getting a number of points, winning events, coming second, making the semi-finals, that kind of thing. And getting enough points to then get to the final five, which is over in the US, where they just have a couple of days where they surf to see who's the champ. And he was in, he was on the cusp of not making that. He had to win this event, and he was able to win it.
So now he is in that final five.
Final five. So good luck to Jack.
That's why we love you so hard, Jack.
Yeah.
One of us in
Don't we?
particular.
I know. You should ask him out.
Oh, well, don't worry, I will. Moving on to footy. There was talk yesterday, and it started with Eddie Maguire on Footy Classified saying that the board at the West Coast Eagles was considering Adam Simpson's position. Throughout this year, they've been really staunch in their support of him, and it normally is the case from all boards. But they are looking at this game against the Western Bulldogs as a defining one. Adam Simpson
so
said
weird that
that he
they-
wanted to
Why
know.
that one?
Yeah, why that one?
Why
like,
that?
it makes no sense.
Because over the last month, the
Was that the
performances-
straw?
Yes, there's always got to be a
Okay.
point. So the West Coast Fremantle game last week was a real.
I know, but
a real
before that,
terrible
beat
one.
North Melbourne and then lost by a point to Essendon.
Yes,
Like, do
so-
you know what I mean? Like, why suddenly...
Why land
through
on
result-
this
yeah.
failure
Yeah.
when there's been so many more to choose
Yeah.
from?
You're right, Nathan.
I mean,
They
I
are
know you're only
staring-
as good as your last game, but like it's not like they haven't had glimpses of hope in the last month. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm not sure if I mean, Fremantle took a lot out of beating West Coast.
Yes.
But so on the other side of things, West Coast took a lot out of beating North Melbourne, although the North Melbourne guy had a shot to win the game with a minute to go, so
Yeah.
they could have lost that
But
game as
didn't.
well. They didn't.
Yeah.
I don't. It doesn't mean, did they take a lot of that game? No, they just won against a poor team. And I say the same thing about
But
Fremantle.
I mean,
just
isn't
won
the
against a poor
ultimate
team.
at this
Put
point
that
of the season
aside.
the ultimate goal is to get the number one draft pick?
Well, yes, 100%.
When there's only a couple of games left, it doesn't really matter, does it? Well, the results wise.
Well, it means
this
that if
point-
West Coast Eagles get smoked tomorrow, they'll be the worst team that's almost ever existed.
yeah,
Anyway,
but there's a previous worst team. Do you know what I mean?
so let's get back to
No
Adam
one survives.
Simpson.
No one survives that.
Is there truth in this? Do you
Has to
think?
be, yeah, it has to be.
Okay.
But
They're
didn't they
getting impatient.
haven't the Eagles come out and said there's been no board meeting? There's no.
They always say that too, Nat. That there would be discussions behind how much can we take?
So
Is the end of
there
it.
might be discussions between individual board members, but that's different to the board meeting and having a conversation about
I'm
it.
not saying
'cause-
Ed Maguire is absolutely 100%
Right.
starting this. I'm
Yes.
just saying there is something to it. From the East Coast, now we're here in WA, so it's completely different. But everywhere else in footy circles are saying, how is this possible that he's still got his job?
Yeah.
I believe he's a good coach, but everybody has their time in a position, whether
But
it's your job
is it just
or
the
anywhere
media
else.
baying for somebody's head because that's what they do and they've got, columns to fill in newspapers? Is that... And
Yeah,
so at the
yep.
moment it's Adam Simpson, could easily be somebody else. Do
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
that's the way of the world.
And they literally just focus on somebody until they bring them down, then move on to the next one.
They've won like 5 games in like 50.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
I understand.
The record's horrendous.
Also the injury record's been horrendous. Nobody's had an injury list like they have in the last 2 years.
No,
And
but
is that the coach's fault?
No, but I would also say that the programs that are always going bad, North Melbourne included, Fremantle a few years ago when Ross got the job,
Yeah.
they had massive injury problems, but no one gives a rat's ass. They just say the coach needs to go, and Ross Lyon was the instance for that period
Yes.
of time. He won a truckload more games than Adam Simpson
Yeah.
and or any other coaches, but people just go, that's it, your time's out.
Yeah. Well,
See you later.
I guess Adam Simpson has a premiership under his belt. He's a premiership coach, and that makes a difference.
Yeah, it does, but
Yeah.
they beat Collingwood in that amazing grand final in
Yeah.
2018. Collingwood got rid of Nathan Buckley, and then they gutted their list in a second, so they were able to make hard decisions at a time where you could say that grand final could have gone either
Yeah.
way. Clearly, it was an even Steven. But they made decisions moving
Yeah.
forward, and the West Coast Eagles were unable to. Was that just on Adam Simpson? No, surely not. List management comes into it. The fitness staff have got something to play there. They hadn't made any changes, and someone's going to lose their job, I would have thought, at the end of this season. There will be changes, 100%. We'll see if it's Adam Simpson's after this weekend's round.
I disengaged with this chat a while back.
Thank you, Nathan.
Some insightful comments
For your
there from
support.
Nathan Morris.
Unwavering. We'll keep the science freaks going. Jeremy McGovern's in the house. He was he dominated at school. Did you, Gov?
Nah, it was shocking. I love SciTech though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely love going there. But
Kids love it.
Yeah, I've only taken Hudson once, I think, but
Blew his mind.
after seeing the performance put on today, I'll probably take him again.
Should we
All
ask
of
him a
again,
couple
I
of
think.
science
Yeah,
questions?
let's go.
Let's start.
All right.
Golf.
Here we go.
Just say Amazon. It's usually the answer.
Sharing the name of a popular sitcom, the most recognised theory of how the universe began is known as the what?
I've got no idea. Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Big Bang, that's a TV
I
show.
just guessed a TV show.
Yeah. At least you didn't say Friends.
That would be my answer.
The phenomenon known as a sonic boom is created when you break the speed of what barrier?
Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, speed light? I don't know. Nah.
Sound.
Yeah,
Wow.
Boom. I thought, there you go.
You're breaking the speed of light. There's some serious stuff going on, by the way.
What type of mirror curves inward like the inside of a spoon and causes parallel rays of light to converge?
Pass.
That's concave.
Concave, like a cave. Convex.
Starting with F, what is the force that opposes motion between two surfaces in contact? Starting with F.
Starting with F.
And you're going to rub it together.
Be careful.
What's that create? What's that create? Yeah.
It's very hard to answer when you're staring me in the eyes, licking
Yeah,
your
it
lips.
was disturbing eye contact, wasn't it?
Licking your lips, mate.
I think we'll call that a pass.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
He's a clever little man, isn't he?
Little man.
Gov, running the show this week, obviously being the skipper again.
Yeah. This week. Yeah,
You're just about the last man
should be out.
standing. Everybody else is retired. What's happening?
The boys are leaving me.
Dropping like flies.
I know. It sucks. It's sad, but
Yeah.
also they've had great careers and they've got to move on with their lives, of course. But Nick's obviously the
Yeah.
latest one, probably
Yeah.
since I
Yes.
was in here last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So three big names, massive names. A big hole in our footy club with those boys gone.
Did you have any inkling this was going to happen? Of course you would. You knew your teammates.
Look, you sort of got an understanding,
Yes.
but deep down, you're sort of hoping
Yes.
they're not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you understand it.
You know it has to
and
happen at some point.
And
yeah.
for Nick, these boys are a bit different. Like Bunga's he's old as he's been going around for that
He
long.
wants to hear that.
Yeah, no, he knows. I love giving him shit about that. But Nick was a bit different because obviously Nick and Boots, their bodies sort of weren't holding up. So you sort of knew it could have come at any sort of stage. So
They were selfless decisions made by both of them.
yeah, they definitely could have went
Yes.
on. They had contracts. And just they're all selfless blokes. Even Bunga.
Even Bunga?
He still could have, as in he doesn't have any injuries. Not
He
too
was
many.
around when selfless was invented.
But they all definitely could have went on next year.
Yeah.
So I think they've made the right decision for them and the footy club in the end. So it's sad to see them go.
Gov, it's hard to see the end, obviously, but you're closer to the end than the start. 32 next season when you get underway. No, I'm just saying.
You should go to the nursing home and just yell that out.
When everyone tells me how young I look. After footy, though, it's kind of hard to imagine yourself other than walking into the doors at the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, it is. There's a little part of me that's actually gets a little bit excited about just being normal.
Yeah.
Doing a normal job.
yeah.
But at the same time, it is very hard to see what it would be like. And I think what I've heard from a lot of boys that finish is they miss the actual structure and
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess
Routine of it all,
routine,
and
the
yes.
competitive
The
side, the
brotherhood.
feedback
Yeah.
side. Like we copping feedback
Yes.
Yeah.
every second online, and
We can call you with some
coaches,
feedback.
everything like players sort of miss that,
Yeah.
miss that structure and that I guess the competitive sort of side to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
most definitely.
You've got a bit of an advantage over a lot of people retiring from competitive sport in that you do have a business already. You're
Yeah.
kind of set up. You know what your life will look like after.
Yeah.
For some of the other guys, they don't really, do they? Like that transition is more difficult because of that.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of the boys, like Shannon Hearn, for example, he doesn't have anything he's going to fall straight into, but he's always
Yeah.
sort of had an idea of what
Will he
he's
go
going
back to
do.
the farm or?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
he mentioned that.
I thought his first job was a chimney sweep, wasn't it?
it might have been
Back in the 1800s, you were telling me.
Carriage driver.
He's not that old. But I think he'll be going back and forth
Yeah.
from the farm.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's staying over here in WA.
Hey,
I know he'll be fishing.
I've got a question for both of you. What is the age? So, okay, you start playing football, you're young, right? And you're just a young person and you don't really look too far in the future. And then suddenly suddenly, as you guys know, you become old in football quite early. What is the age where suddenly you start forgetting that you're young and going, oh my God, this could be over soon? What's that age?
I just had it the other day. One of the young boys come and said, "Oh, mate, how do you feel? You're the oldest bloke on the list." And it hit me.
Is that
I was
true?
like, "Am I the
You
oldest
are.
guy on the
Yeah,
list?" And I'm like, "Far out. All right, I've got to stop acting like a 20-year-old."
I know, and then guys who get drafted just had their 18th,
Yes.
and there's
Yeah.
21st that you might be invited to, and it's a real weird one, isn't it, Gov?
Yeah.
Because it's for all of us really in different areas of our life, but you're seen as this old cat,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
then you'll finish playing footy, and everyone will look at you completely the
But
opposite.
the psychological thing about being seen as an old cat in your early 30s
Yes.
is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That is because you're seen as 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
But people write you, Jeremy McGovern, veteran.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're like,
And you're like,
Veteran.
you've barely
Ew.
turned 30.
Yeah, just turned. I'm 31 now, so
Yeah.
it's weird. It's just the cape we're in,
It's,
I guess.
it's the nature of it, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely weird and different, but no, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we'll roll the punches with it, and I'm going to start walking around with a walking stick around the club now.
yeah. Now, Gov, the weekend's performance was rubbish,
Yeah.
and you got absolutely smoked.
Yep.
So leading into this game, there's a lot of pressure on the team to be able to perform at a high level.
Well, Shaun
You're playing
reckons
against
Adam
it.
Simpson's head's on the chopping block.
Well, it is if the game gets out of control this week. I've got no doubt about
are you
that.
feeling that?
Oh, look, you hear all this sort of stuff. We've heard it most of the year with Simo and the club and all these different decisions. And so I don't, look, to be honest, can't really worry about that.
Yeah.
I think as a playing group, we can't really
It's
worry
just
about
noise.
what the club's doing because that's for them to make decisions on. I think for us, it's just worrying about playing footy. And last week, we lowered our colours big time.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help Simo, that doesn't help the club, it doesn't help our fans. So, for us as players, all we need to do is focus on this game, doing everything we can to try and win.
Yeah.
And if we're not going to win and we don't win, at least we're having a better crack than we did last week. So
Do you blame
that's sort of what let us down
last week's loss on the Matildas? 'Cause obviously, that's what was happening leading into it. That unbelievable penalty shootout.
No, definitely, I can't blame them.
Did you see much of it?
I saw a little bit of it was all up on the big screen and stuff as we're running
Yeah.
out and all that. But it was pretty cool at the same time.
Do you blame the loss on the Dockers?
Yeah,
More so?
definitely blame
Because I think they were involved.
The way that they won.
Yeah, definitely.
It was actually really rude.
Yeah, it was. It's a great
It
point.
was like, you know what? 15 goals is like pushing it.
Yeah.
17 in a row. It's like, come on, mate. That's not polite.
Yeah, that's taking the
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, mate, and rightly so. Like, if we're going to rock up like that, that's what you get, and that's what you deserve. So,
But you say rock up like that. I know we're running out of time, but you did it in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
the
we
first
did.
10
It's a
minutes, I
solid
was looking
start.
at it going, geez, these guys are coming to play. You put a lot of pressure on Freo. They were turning it over, and you had ground position.
But think about it. You can do anything really for 5 minutes.
you do plenty in 5 minutes.
That's a really good point.
But yeah, no, that's the weird thing about the game on the weekend. We felt comfortable, felt really good. The boys' energy was up, started well, and then
just fell in a heap.
Yeah, the wheels fell off a little bit, but that's good, done and dusted. We need to move on and put our best foot forward this week against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see it Sunday. It'll be the early game on TV for all of us, I think. Good luck for you, Gov. I hope it goes
thanks,
well.
guys.
I hope you lead the team well.
Thank you.
The oldest man on the list. Thanks,
And the best looking.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.